Now to our second talk. Teams often don't know where their models fail or why users drop off. Chinar Movsisyan, founder of Feedback Intelligence, helps solve this by turning messy user interactions into clear insights. The platform spots confusion, tracks goal completion, and flags weak responses so teams can improve quality, build trust, and grow faster. Please welcome Chinar Movsisyan.
Thank you, Andre. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Chinar Movsisyan, the founder of Feedback Intelligence. So my presentation topic is a bit different. What you just said, it's the same thing, but it's a bit different. It's going to be large models, user experience, and product metrics. Cool. Let's start. Few words about myself. So over the last 10 years, I would say I have seen AI move from research labs to real products. And one thing became clear, that shipping an AI feature, AI product is easy for different applications, but making sure it works for users is hard. So today, I'm gonna cover this new shift, this how conversational AI agents are becoming the new standard, and why the metrics that we knew do not cut it for AI agents, conversational AI, and what we can do instead. So let's start with why this even matters now. So one thing that we all agree, that AI agents are not just tools anymore. They sit right next to us, helping write code, answer customer questions, even make business decisions, right? So the way we measure them has to shift from, is the system alive, or what is the health of system, to, is it actually helping people? Is the output of that AI agent aligned with my needs, expectations, my style, as a person? Is it aligned with me or not? And the timing couldn't be more important, because these AI agents are being deployed in every vertical, from code to insurance to healthcare to banks, all these verticals, which are very critical for human life. Two big changes happening very fast. One thing that we can mention here is interfaces exploded. What does this mean? So we are seeing that conversational AI is becoming the new front door to any enterprise workflow, right? So from chat to voice to embedded AI features everywhere. And typical use cases that we are seeing, customer support is changing so fast, right? If you call to some customer support for some inquiry you have, the other day I was calling to this FedEx to check where is my parcel. AI agent is answering to that call. First whole conversation they keep with AI agent, and then if there is a need, they escalate to human agent. And on the other note, what we are seeing, all metrics do not tell the story. So those success metrics, criteria that we have used in the past decades are not working anymore. So for example, latency and uptime are fine, but they do not say if the AI solved your problem, that user customer problem or not. We kind of need a new playbook for measuring this success, for defining that success and then measuring that success. But before we jump to that solution, what are new metrics that we can use? Let's look at how we got here. What made us to be in this position. So what's happening here in this new shift? We started with language models, right? And Those were like single turn, static outputs. For example, like 4 years ago, if you have used any language model like BERT, for example, that was very like static interaction, meaning like there was one question and a language model was trying to give some output, and next token prediction was very hard. I mean, you were waiting as a user, you were waiting for a meaningful word to see. Then after ChatGPT came out, chatbots, which are basic conversations with some context, started to be used a lot. Now, after this like single turn, static outputs, and then multi-turn with some context, we are seeing AI agents. So these are multi-turn again, context-aware again, but also those have some autonomy. Those agents can make decisions on the fly. As capabilities evolved, our metrics should have been evolved as well, right? So, and that's where the cracks started showing. We saw this like MIT report or other reports, like a lot of people are talking about that, why we are not able to make from a POC to full real world deployment. What is the root cause of that? Why we are not there yet? So most teams track system health, right? Like latency, uptime, cost. These metrics we have seen coming from like traditional application monitoring to AI observability, some sort of. That's like judging a car by whether the engine starts, not whether it got you where you wanted to go. Like this is the simplest analogy I could think of to kind of show what is the difference between just tracking system health and making sure that it's working properly. So what's missing here? What we are seeing in this new shift, in this new world, there are metrics that we have to take into account at day zero. And those metrics are coming from feedback. So let me just elaborate on this a bit more. Those metrics, I have here a few metrics already listed, like satisfaction, retention, alignment with intent. Without those, you can't tell if your AI is actually working. The other thing is important here to mention. So we are saying that these AI agents with multi-turn capabilities, context-aware, with some autonomy, are deployed in different verticals, like from healthcare to, for example, mental health AI companion, or SaaS construction company, or insurance. Those are different verticals with different KPIs and business metrics. So when we define whether the output of AI agent is aligned with user needs, expectations, whether user is satisfied, all of that, we have to take into account what is the success criteria in that domain, in that use case, what they care the most. For example, in mental health, it's important that the chatbot AI agent has very high empathy, right? Because the conversation is about mental health, the user needs some support. It is not ever about like accuracy or correctness, all of that. It is way possible to have not super correct answer, but have high empathy. But there are verticals where no one cares about empathy, and they care about correctness, helpfulness, and other metrics. So one thing that we are seeing in this AI agent, enterprise adoption, all of that, companies, enterprises are having a hard time to define these metrics, use case specific metrics, and iterate over time. That's where we need new way of measuring the success, qualifying and quantifying that experience, and making sure that the AI is useful for real world. Now let's talk about what is the best or better, whether we have a better approach here or not. This is a simple, I would say, cheat sheet, analytics for language model-based agentic era, large language model-based, or just a lot of folks are relying on small models for some specific use cases. So how we think about this new product metrics or new user experience analysis, qualification, and quantification. We think about it in 3 layers. The first layer that we are seeing a lot of companies are aligned and they need that is deep behavioral analytics. This part basically answers to this following question: what users actually do with the AI? So when we do the behavioral analysis, we try to answer or qualify why users are actually using this AI product. What is their intent? What is their goal? How that goal is changing over time? Because that insight, that data is giving real direction where to adapt, where to double down this AI agent further. The other part, the next part, which is super critical here, is qualification, quantification, qualitative and quantitative metrics. This is kind of scoring plus context. So in the first layer, we know what is user goal, why they interact, how often they interact, what they do, what is their sentiment, all of that. And now we are quantifying and qualifying. We are observing user experience. And with those metrics that I mentioned, those reports in the previous slide, those are critical to define. Is this about empathy? Like, given this goal that user has while interacting with this AI agent, empathy is something that we have to qualify and quantify, or is it about correctness, or it is about like retention rate or resolution rate, all of that. So this is another level where it's important to have those metrics, those numbers or labels for further analysis. And then it comes the third layer here, which is like user experience feedback loops. So let me bring an analogy here. I think it will help to understand why this is important at the moment. So when software as a service or mobile applications, digital experience came out like a decade ago or more than, we saw some companies like Amplitude, Mixpanel, these kind of companies emerging in the market. These companies, these products were designed to understand product analytics, how product is digital, those digital products like SaaS application or mobile application are being used, and use that data to optimize that SaaS product. Like, let's say you have a SaaS application. And that, in order to gather feedback, those solutions like Amplitude or Mixpanel were designed to collect events, to design events, to collect events. That's the minimum data point you can collect from Mixpanel or Amplitude. So we saw that with this shift that everything is becoming natural language-based interaction, we need to define new way to collect that feedback. So every interaction that user has with AI agent, or now we are seeing like agent to agent interaction as well, how we can use those interactions, because those are signals, right? how we can use that information to make this product, which is an AI agent or a conversational AI or chatbot, better. So this is the third layer that we are seeing. Any enterprise LLM product, anything in any vertical, has this layer as a strategy to build, to make sure that they have the whole stack and they have control over everything. So what does this mean? As a summary, this turns random unstructured interaction into structured learning. Now let me show you how this plays out in real life. Simple example that will help us to understand more around the layers that I mentioned here. So let's say you have a chatbot. It has agentic capabilities, and the flow usually user journey with that chatbot and including the feedback loop will be the following. User query, for example, help me create a marketing campaign for my new product. And then agent has a response, generate campaign strategy, target audience analysis, tactics, all of that, right? So after this, we have to, what we are doing, we tracked signals. Did they copy the answer, refresh, or escalate, or anything like that? This is like the analytics part where what we have designed at Feedback Intelligence, it captures interaction data and user behavior. And that whole interaction data will be structured into those three modules I mentioned in my previous slide: deep behavioral analysis, qualitative and quantitative scores, and then the feedback loop itself. And then using that data, which is a gold data, and that data can be used by different stakeholders. I'll touch that in a few minutes. And then using that data, you will iterate, which is critical right now for any company, time to resolution, time to market. You will update it, you will learn from that data, and then you will have a new improved version, or you will know where to double down. So why this journey, why this like whole flow is important? We have seen cases in different verticals where we are already in production. It's like resolution rate, helpfulness, hallucination rate, engagement time, these like metric signals, we were able to like qualify, benchmark. We see that resolution rate is super important, right? If user copies, it means that high usefulness, like it was useful for user and they are able to move forward. And then helpfulness, if user is asking follow-up questions, changing, paraphrasing their question around the same context, it means that they are engaged and they need more clarification, there is a room to improve. Or if they are not copying, they are asking more questions, their intent is not met, it means that there is some hallucination. Let's call it hallucination, but maybe there is a misalignment or something else. And then engagement time. Automatically, it will analyze, like score, how was the engagement from first interaction until the end, and what was the resolution there. So these numbers are being used by different stakeholders. And usually what we are seeing, product managers are using these numbers, these like labels, for understanding whether their AI chatbot is designed for right use case. It is aligned with user needs expectations. If they need to make changes, they use that data. Sales folks are using it to understand, oh, this chatbot that let's say it's a insurance mortgage chatbot, and they can see, okay, we are seeing that in California, these kind of people in this demography are asking to buy a house, and we need to use this data to double down and go and do some upsell. And then as scientists, researchers, we can use this for fine-tuning purposes, for evaluation purposes. For us, like the data, any structured data is a gold. So we use that for augmentation purposes and curation purposes. Yeah, this is about that. And now, as we know this whole change and why we need to take some other things into account while developing these new interfaces, let me just very briefly, I know I have a few more minutes, let me briefly tell you what is coming next and where this is going next. So I was thinking, what shall I call this slide? And as we are talking about AI agent, like everyone is talking about that, I was like, okay, there should be some agent-ish thing. So metrics mid autonomy. There are two things that we are seeing in this LLM, enterprise LLM adoption, all of that. The first one I can say is very important given how good are these general models. Is imagine AI agents can evaluate themselves, right? Evaluation is important, very critical. And now let's imagine if there is this AI agent that we have deployed in mental health vertical, they can evaluate themselves. Multi-agent ecosystems improving each other automatically. This is something that we are seeing. It's very trendy. It's very important. And in order to enable this, feedback loop will be critical. And the other thing is that AI watching AI or agent to agent. So we get continuous improvement without manual intervention and without any losses, because human in the loop is a thing. It will be there in the next few years. Definitely, it's important. But also there is this fear of losing. Let's say agent has autonomy, they make decision for us, but they are not correct. And as a human, you are not on time to make that decision, to have that manual intervention here. That's kind of the future, what we are seeing, evaluation, self-evaluation here, and then continuous improvement. Yeah, I think I had this much for today. So would love to connect with anyone here in the audience. Happy to think through, happy to talk through. Very exciting time we are living at the moment. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chinar, for explaining the importance of user experience in AI and the product metrics that make it stick.